Hi, I'm David. This is Joe, and we can't see what that is, so watch our review.
He's saying that because Daredevil can't see.
Get it?
But I know it's behind me.
He can sense it with his superpowers.
So we didn't review the other 2 seasons of Daredevil, but they were really good.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Daredevil, and so Daredevil season 1, Daredevil was just starting out, getting
Getting his ass kicked.
Getting his ass kicked a lot.
He does in every season.
Yes. And season 2, he ditches the sock. He's got a sock that he wears over his face, and he gets his Daredevil suit, and he's Daredevil. And then some things happen.
And the Punisher happens.
The Punisher happens. The Defenders happen, and then season 3, he's in a little bit of a different spot now, and
everybody thought he was dead. I mean, not like fans, we all kind of knew. He's alive. But
so Daredevil season 3, he's blaming it all on his roots, and he's showing up in boots.
Stop.
he's sliding in.
Yeah, so he's going back to the Sock Man, the Sock Man Chronicles, and he's living underneath the church, and he's sort of fighting crime.
Yeah,
mostly.
He's ditched Matt Murdock.
Yeah.
So in the previous 2 seasons and in the Defenders, there's Matt Murdock and then there's Daredevil. And Matt Murdock is a lawyer and Daredevil is a crime fighter. But now he's done. Matt Murdock's not him anymore. He's done with that whole thing. Now he's just Daredevil. He doesn't have a suit, but he's Daredevil. Always.
You know what I noticed just thinking about this right now is that, so he's totally just the crime fighter and he tries to kill Matt Murdock, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't fight that much crime.
No.
There's maybe like one spot where he fights the petty criminals, but that's it.
Yeah.
The rest of the time he's focused on the big picture.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's the crime fighter. Daredevil now.
Permanently.
Yeah.
So that means he doesn't have time for anything else. He doesn't have time for Matt Murdock's friends. Foggy and Karen are not Daredevil's friends. They're Matt's friends.
Yeah.
So he can't be bothered. He is just full Daredevil. He's kind of insane. But not to say I don't like him. Still, I still like Daredevil, the character, even in this season just as much as I liked him in the other 2.
Yeah.
He goes insane pretty frequently. So I was like, oh, he's going through a phase.
Yeah, no, he goes through a lot. And let's see.
And I think this season is the best out of the Daredevil seasons. I would say it's the best.
Yeah, I think it's the best Marvel Netflix show, period.
Yeah,
I
the
can't
best
think of a better one.
Marvel Netflix season, period.
Yeah.
Like the season alone is just,
Yeah,
it's great.
There's so many episodes that hit you, and there's so many episodes where there's crazy things that happen. Like, they end a lot of the episodes with cliffhangers.
Yeah.
Which normally,
it's like,
a lot of times it can get annoying, but because you can binge watch it immediately. Like, if this came on once a week and it was a fucking cliffhanger every time,
I'd be
so annoyed with it.
Like
but,
Walking Dead.
Yeah. Be like, okay, again, really? But because you can binge watch it, it's like, oh fuck, next, and then you want to keep just watching it.
And that works so perfectly for this. Yeah. And I've heard a lot of people say that this should have been just 10 episodes. I think I disagree with that. I want it more. I mean, I just liked this season so much that I was like, I want it to finish it because I just want it to get to the end, but I didn't want there to be less episodes. There
was no point where I was like, man, can this just end already? No, I was at the edge of my seat, excited for what's going to happen next. Yeah. And there's quite a few characters in here that, without spoiling anything, just seeing their story arc, like Agent Nadim. Yeah. He's an interesting one to watch.
He's an FBI agent that's introduced in this season.
And there's another.
I think we could say his name, but also I think Nadim, he's introduced in this season, and you don't really know what to think about him at first. Since I don't know much about Daredevil's villains, I was trying to guess. Like from the second they introduce him in his home life, I was like, they're setting you up to be a villain, right? I mean, I don't really know much about his villains, but you've got to be one. And it keeps you guessing for a little while, just until you figure them out.
For most of the season.
Yeah. but there's some that are pretty clearly villains.
Oh, yeah. There's another agent, Dex.
Poindexter.
Bullseye?
Yeah.
Okay. He's Bullseye.
Yeah. So we got Bullseye in this season, and they, pulling this season back to its roots, they literally do the first season again, but like stakes are higher because you've got Fisk and you've got Daredevil in his little sock monkey outfit.
Yeah. And you have Fisk back at it again, just back to his roots, just beating the shit out of people anytime he gets angry, beating them to death, throwing them in the road.
Like, but he's in jail. I was like, Fisk he's in jail. He's been locked up since season 1. Daredevil put him in jail, and he's been there for so long, but now he's being held up in a penthouse.
Yeah, so he's in jail.
He's in jail. He's not a free man. He's being watched by cameras constantly, only gets a few meals a day that they still bring him. He's under constant watch, but somehow still causing havoc in the city that these characters have to deal with.
Still doing all his Fisk things, where it's just like...
And you're like, how are you doing this? And oh my god, the planning was so crazy, and you're insane, but you're so smart, and like...
Yeah, he's so good at what he does.
Vincent D'Onofrio?
Yeah. I can never say it right, but yeah.
He does great as Wilson Fisk, as always. He is the perfect Fisk. I can't really imagine anybody else being him.
I can't. I mean, he does such a good job, and he's so interesting. There's no moment where Fisk is on screen and you're like, okay, well, let me fast forward to somebody. No, he's what you're there for.
Yeah.
He just has such a strong presence, and he's so manipulative, and just watching him work.
Yeah. And then, like we said a little earlier, Bullseye is in this season, and he's a real problem.
He's a real problem.
He is a real problem. And it's weird because you still at some points feel sympathy for him, which I think is crazy.
They do a good job of kind of showing you where he comes from. Yeah. Just as a human being and just being a violent man. Yeah. And
I think that's something this show in general does so well.
Yeah, no, that's
all their characters.
The theme this season, without really spoiling, is how to be a violent person.
Redemption, I think, is like trying to redeem yourself from things you've done, or maybe will do.
Sort of, but I think it's what they really hammer in over and over again is how do you fit into a society as a violent human being, and they kind of reinforce that idea. And Fisk has an answer.
Yeah.
Daredevil searches for an answer, and these ideals, they kind of collide by the end.
And Bullseye doesn't have an answer.
Bullseye just hits shit.
Yeah. Bullseye, if you don't know something about Bullseye, the character, I knew him. I didn't know that it was Special Agent Dex in this show, but I knew Bullseye as like the character, and he uses whatever he wants to hit you. He's a great marksman, but also if he doesn't have any guns, it doesn't matter. He can walk into a room and be like, okay, well, he'll grab whatever and chuck it at you with such like power and accuracy.
Books, glass, pencils, fucking anything.
Chandeliers, a lot of chandeliers. But he's a great character. I think all of them struggle with problems. Yeah. I think every character has like their own
I think that's what's great about this season is not just Daredevil has a great story arc. There's so many other people.
Yeah.
You have Bullseye, you have Agent Nadeem, you have Wilson Fisk, Karen, Foggy. These are 6 storylines that are all engaging, entertaining, and they really keep you guessing.
Yeah.
So it's like it just alternates between
all of the like worries that I thought I was gonna have. I didn't have. And I quickly was reminded, hey, relax, we've got this. Like with Nadeem, when he first showed up and stuff, I was like, okay, I know you're gonna be a big character, but do I want you to be? I was like, are you gonna be boring? Whenever a new show, or not a new show, but whenever a show introduces a new character, you hope that this character will be just as good as the rest that you already know and are established.
Yeah.
So you sit there wondering, am I gonna be bored of you? And then when Dex came on, I'm like, okay, you're a villain, you're a bad guy, but am I gonna not want to see you on screen? But no, all of them I cared a lot.
From the moment Dex comes onto the scene, you're just like, oh shit, who is this man? It was exciting right from the start. You knew this is gonna be somebody to watch.
So I think that's all we're gonna talk about when it comes to just non-spoiler. If you've watched the other 2 Daredevil seasons, you're probably already going to watch this. You should. But if you haven't watched Daredevil at all, you should start. You should watch it because it's a great show.
Yeah, absolutely. For a rating, give it a 5.5 out of 6.
Okay.
I think. Yeah, as a series, I mean, it was great. I would have gave it 6 out of 6, but I felt like on the very last episode, it pulled a couple punches for me. And so, yeah, I can't give it a 6 out of 6, but it's really, really good.
Yeah. I'll give it 6 out of 6 because I don't have many, I think I've said this in another video, I don't have many TV shows that I watch, and for this to stay one of them that I consistently, will keep watching, and this season was so good, just the feeling it gave me that I constantly, when I wasn't watching this, wanted to be watching this until it was done. I think that gets my 6 out of 6. I did feel a little disappointed with the end. We'll go into that in a few, but I don't think it ruined the whole, not the whole thing, but I don't think it dropped any points for me anyway.